Hello students, in this session we study two-dimensional arrays. In the previous session we have seen one-dimensional arrays and various algorithms like traversal, then searching and sorting. In searching we have seen linear search and binary search. Sorting we have seen, and also insertion and deletion of items from one-dimensional array, inserting at a given position and deleting an item from the given position of one-dimensional array we have seen. Now let us discuss two-dimensional arrays. What is a two-dimensional array? Two-dimensional array is an array collection of items of the same type, in which to access each item we require two indices, that is row index and column index. In other words, each item of a two-dimensional array is accessed using a set of two indices, row index and the column index. There are two subscripts, row subscript and column subscripts. Usually two-dimensional arrays, for example, are nothing but matrices. Let us take an example. Suppose the matrix A, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Right? If you take this matrix, there are two rows and three columns. Row 1 containing items 10, 20 and 30. Second row containing 40, 50 and 60. And accordingly there are three columns. Each row containing three items for three columns. So thus arrangement of items, maybe numbers or characters or whatever, in terms of rows and columns is the simple explanation of a two-dimensional array. So practically arrays, two-dimensional arrays will be having so many applications, like to represent matrices in various applications, matrices or vectors, even multi-dimensional. So the arrangement of items in different dimensions can be easily handled or conveniently operated or manipulated using two-dimensional arrays. Now, how to declare a two-dimensional array? Let us see how to declare a two-dimensional array in C++. As I told, the declaration is using the same, like syntax I will write first, then example. Data type, array name, row index, row size and column size, semicolon. That is the syntax to declare a two-dimensional array in C++. Data type space array name, row size and column size using square brackets notation, where row size is the number of rows, column size is the number of columns. Both are integers. As we have seen in one-dimensional array, the size is given as an integer and it is positive integer more than or equal to 0. Here also row size and column size are integers, cannot be negative, positive integers. Now row size, as I told, indicate the number of rows. For example, in numbers of 5, 3. So in this example array called numbers is the name of the array. There are 5 rows and 3 columns. That means each row having 3 items in 3 columns. Now how to access that? Now before that, how many items can be stored in this? The number of items in two-dimensional array is row size into column size. So in this case, for example, 5 into 3. 15 items can be represented using these numbers. 15 items can be manipulated, can be stored, can be processed using this two-dimensional array, row index and column index. We write usually like 5 by 3 matrix, right? 5 cross 3 matrix it is to represent 5 rows and 3 columns. Now, how to access the individual items? For example, if I write like this, numbers of 1, 3. This item, this is one of the elements of this two-dimensional array, numbers of 1 and 3. Here 1 is the row index and square brackets, 3 is the column index. So this refers to an item which is present at the row index 1, column index 3. Correct? As in the case of one dimensional array, in two dimensional array also, row index starts with the 0, column index also starts with the 0. Right? So starting index of rows is 0 and columns is also 0. For example, if you have this item, like let us take a simple example for this. Let us take 2 by 3, 2 rows and 3 columns. So same example, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. So when you write the element like numbers of 1, 2 here, 2 by 3, 6 items are there like this, 10 to 60, 2 rows and 3 columns. To refer to this item, 1, 2, which is the item we are referring to? So this is how we access or indicate which item, this item. See, row index is 1. So here I will write the row index, for this one is 0, for this one is 1. First row index is 0 for all this, second row index is 1. Similarly, first column index is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Row index is 0, 1, 2. 3 columns, 3 cannot be the index. 2 rows, 2 is not the index, 0 and 1. So 1 and 2 is row number 1, this is 60. So this refers to the item 60, this item. Correct? Are you getting this? So similarly, for example, this item 20, 20 is numbers of row index is 0, column index is 1. So numbers of 0, 1, you can display. For example, C out numbers of 0, 1. That displays which one? This item 20. So output is 20. So that is how we can access the individual items of a two-dimensional array. Hope you understood the basics of the two-dimensional array. Now, next, how to represent this in memory. The next thing is how these are represented in memory. Actually, similar to one-dimensional array, being an array, all the items of a two-dimensional array are also stored in continuous memory locations. What is it? All the items of the two-dimensional array also are stored in contiguous memory locations. But how? There can be two possibilities. Now let us discuss what is the memory representation of a two-dimensional array. How to represent a two-dimensional array in memory. So this can be done, as I told, using two methods. One is the row major order, one is the column major order. I will repeat. The two-dimensional arrays can be represented in memory using two ways, using two methods. Memory representation. One, using row major order, and second one is column major order. Row major order and column major order. These are the two ways of representing two-dimensional array. What is this row major order? According to row major order, all the elements of the first row are taken first, stored in memory, and next items of the next second row, right? Next items of the third row are taken continuously. Right? And repeat. According to row major order, first row elements are stored first, next second row elements, next third row, and so on. Row wise items are taken for storage and even for processing. In column major order, it is the other way. First, columns of the elements of the first column are taken. Next, in the next memory locations, items of the second column are taken, and so on. Third column, fourth column, and continuously so on till the last column. So items are stored according to the columns order. That is called column major. So normally we make use of row major order in processing the items of two-dimensional arrays. Now how is that? Let us see using an example. Correct? Now let us discuss the row measure order in detail. Row measure order. Suppose the matrix or two-dimensional array A of suppose 2 and 3, right? I will take like this one. I will write here just 10, 20 and 30, 40, 50 and 60. Let us take this example. 2 rows and 2 columns. The row index is 0 and 1. Column index 0, 1 and 2. This is the column index. Column index. These are the row index. Correct? 2 rows and 3 columns. According to the row measure order, how elements will be stored in the memory? Like this. Starting from the given, anyway the first item will be from the first memory location, wherever we start. First 10, first row element, first 10, 20 and 30. These are the first row items. Next 40, 50 and 60. So continuously in the memory, first row items first, second row items next, like this. So if there is third row items next according to the row wise. So this is first row and this is second row, like this. Right? So it is A of 0, 0, A of 0, 1, A of 0, 2, A of 1, 0, A of 1, 1, A of 1, 2, like this. So this will be A of 0, 0. This is A of 0, 1. So that is how you access individual items anyway. A of 0, 0, A of 0, 1, A of 0, 2, right? 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 30. Right? Next is A of 1, 0, A of 1, 1, A of 1, 2. Correct? All those. Now suppose, how to find out the location of any item based on this. Right? So there is a formula for this. Now let us say the first item of the array is stored at the memory location, suppose 2000. This is the memory location of the first item of the array, this one, 10. We can find out what is the location, what is the memory address of any given item in row measure order according to a formula. The formula is, see, I write the formula here. Formula to find the location of any item. Right? Suppose the location of A of I j, right? A of I j is equal to base of A, base of the array. Base of A is the base address of the first item. Right? First item address. Address of the first item of the array is the base address. Right? Plus width into I n into I plus j. Right? The formula is, so it is given in the textbook, but there is a small mistake. It is n into I plus j. Right? So there in terms of minus lower bound is given, it is not necessary. Width into n into I plus j. So this is the formula to find the location of any item according to the row measure, where A, I and J are the locations, indices of the particular element we want to find out the location. Base address, the address of the first item of the array. W, as you know, width of the items, that is for integers it is 2 bytes. For characters it is 1 byte, floating point 4 bytes. The size of the type of the data. N and M. M and N are the number of rows and columns. M by N matrix. It is row number and it is column number. Correct? So M is the number of rows, N is the number of columns. M by N matrix. So then this is the address to, this is the formula to find out the address of any item. Let us say, for example, we will find out the address of the item 40. Item 40 is A of, so location of A of 40, 1 0, 1 0. So I and J. I is 1, J is 0. How much is M and N for this? M is the number of rows, 2 rows and 3 columns. M is 2, N is 3. So A of location of A of ij, A of 1 0. 1 0 is this one, 40. Item is 40. What is the address of that? If the starting address is, see, base address is 2000 plus width is 2 into N into I. N is 3 number of columns, I is 1. 3 into 1 plus J. J given is 0. For the given item, I and J, 1 and 0. J is 0. Find out that. It is 2 into 3, 2 into 3 into 1, 3 plus 0. 3 plus 0 is 3. 3 into 2, it is 6. 6 plus 2000, it is 2006. 2006. Let us see that. Let us verify. So 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006. Correct? So address of this item is 2006. Correct? We got it. So by using this formula, it is possible to find out the location or the memory address of any item of the two-dimensional array given its index. So we should know I and J. So the formula is this. Base address is the address of the first item of the array, which is always this one. Item of the first item of the array. Width according to the type of the data present in there. Here in this case we have taken integers, so the 2 bytes. If you take a character two-dimensional array, like a collection of so many names, individually the item is a character, there the width is 1. If you take floating point, it is 4 bytes, like this. M and N, here you should be careful, it is N into I plus J. N is the number of columns. Here you might have observed, here we don't require the number of rows here, right? Row, because it is a row measure order, it is according to the row wise only. That is why we don't require the row size. Only we require in this formula number of columns, because each row it is extending up to those number of columns. First row only these 3 items. First column, second column, third column. Next only the second row items will be stored in the memory. So hope you have understood memory representation using row measure order. So most widely, or unless it is mentioned, it is by default row measure order. And already we have written in the last year, you have written so many programs on two-dimensional arrays also, matrix, multiplication, addition you have done. All these programs make use of the row measure order only, where we require 2 for loops to process. Outer for loop to process individual rows and inner for loop to process different columns of a given row. Correct? Outer for loop I is for the rows, inner for loop J for the columns. So naturally it is the row measure order. Now let us see for the same using the column measure order. Correct? Now let us see the second method, is the column measure order. So according to the column measure order, as you have seen row measure, here the items of the array are stored column wise. That is, first column items first, and next in the next memory locations the items of the second column, and in the next locations items of the third column, like this. So anyway, items will be stored in continuous memory locations, but column wise. So for the given example, the first item is anyway 10. The next item is 40, Look at this. Next item is 40. The next item, so first column item is finished. Next the second column, 20 and 50. 20 and 50. Next is 30 and 60. So this is how the items will be stored in memory for the given example using column measure order. Using column measure order. Now let us see the position of this one. So first column it is 10 and 40. First column. First column. This is the second column. And these two are for third column. For this example, right? Out of 6 items. Now here, look at this. This is how much? 10. A of 0, 0. Now this is A of, look at that. A of index remains the same. You should write the same thing. Fault is A of 1, 0. 1, 0. So this is A of 20. See, 20. A of 0. A of 0, 1. Right? So it is 0, 0, 1, 0. Next 0, 1. A of 40. 40 is how much? A of 1, 0. Next A of 0. A of 0, 1. A of 50. 1, 1. Right. Next A of 30. 0, 2. Next A of 1, 2. Are you getting this? So this is how you should write the index for each item. Now let us write the formula. Suppose the base address is anyway 2000 first. The base address. Base address is 2000. How to get the location, memory address of any item using the column measure order? The formula is similar to that, but location of A of ij, address of any item according to the column measure order is equal to base of A same plus width into, only here is the change. Here it is instead of n into I, but there it is I plus m into j. Right? Here it is I plus m into j. Note this. The difference is I plus m into j. Previously we have taken n into I plus j. So here m comes. Here we refer to the number of rows but not the number of columns because it is a column measure order. Number of rows required for us, correct? Because the items are stored column wise. Now let us take an example for the same thing. So how do you get example the address of, suppose the same thing 40 or any item 50, let us take 50, right? Address of this item 50. So this is location of A of how much? A of 50 is 1, 1. A of 1, 1 is equal to base of A 2000 plus width into, width is 2 into I, how much is I? 1. 1 plus m is 2 here. 2 into j is also 1. J is also 1. I, j is 1, 1. 1. So it is 2 plus 2 into 1. 2 into 1 is 1. 1 plus, sorry, 2 into 1 is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 into 2, 6. 2000 plus 6, 2006. Yeah. Correct? 2006. Let us verify this. 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006. Correct? So the address of the item 50 according to column measure order is 2006. Whereas in the previous example we have seen 2006 we got for 40 only, correct? But what about 40 here? According to row measure, in the previous example, we found that the location of the item 40 row measure is 2006. But here in this case, 40 comes earlier, it is just 2002 only, right? So the address of a given item in row measure order is different and column measure order is naturally different. Observe, so this is the formula. only change is I plus m into j. Correct? So hope you have understood this row major and column major representation of items of two-dimensional array in memory. Correct? Now we will write a program to illustrate how do you accept and display items of a two-dimensional array using column major order. Row major anyway we know it. Usually we do using row major. How to do using column major? Let us write a program. But before that, now see, the first item and the last item will remain in the same position. Correct? You might have observed. Address of the first item is always the same, whether it is row major or the column major, because first we take the first item only. Correct? Similarly, the last item, address of the last item in row major as well as in the column major remains the same. Correct? Okay. Now after this, let us see a program to enter and display the items of 2D array using column major order.